Guys. So we are talking about the movie A Haunting at the Park Hotel, which was originally released as The Speak in 2011. This one is directed by Anthony Pierce and stars Christina Anapau and Tom Sizemore. Now 2011 I feel is somewhat important because that was the same year that Grave Encounters came out, and at a glance I would say this film is a comparable film to Grave Encounters because it is a found footage film and it basically focuses on a group of ghost hunters as they are exploring a haunted building. But there are a couple of differences, and I'd have to say this movie is somewhat comparable to the Blair Witch as well. So the story here, like I've mentioned, we have this group of TV ghost hunters basically. In the first kind of 20 minutes or so of the movie, are really just introducing you to the characters, a lot of whom have only just met at this on this particular job. And then we go into this this hotel, which has been renowned for having a kind of dark past. Murderous things have happened there as we go out through the film. And they decide they're going to do this kind of like Native American ritual to kind of contact the other side in hopes of actually getting some kind of phenomena on film. And of course this goes a little bit better than expected, and the gates between the two worlds open and a variety of supernatural forces enter the Park Hotel. So what is this film like? I have to say, we'll go with the positives first of all on this one. I feel the sense of growing fear and tension here is palpable in this movie. It has a fantastic locale. This kind of whatever building they filmed it in absolutely nails it in regards to the creepiness factor. Turned up to 10. Really good location here. Looks absolutely desecrated and very spooky. And I have to say that I feel the film has a good trajectory in regards to kind of building up to a crescendo basically, and has a bit of a fun and clever twist at the end of it. In regards to the performances, I have to say the standout for me was Christina Anapau, who played Paige, who was this the producer of this this TV show. And although there are a reasonable amount of special effects here, they played more in the background, so you can just see things moving around, which adds to its its effect. The most unique thing about this film is the way that it is filmed, however, and this really gives it a unique flavour compared to a lot of its contemporaries, and that is that basically this film is filmed, or the way it's presented at least, is all in one shot, which I have to say is probably quite the feat. Now I'm sure there was obviously cuts in this, but it's pretty seamless, I have to say. And it gives it this very unique flavour and very a thing that sets it apart maybe from a lot of this other type of films. And it's actually, because of that, it's actually events happen in real time. Cue that 24 clock. So it gives it this very unique feel to it, I would say. Now on to the negatives. Aside from Christine Apanu, I feel some of the other performances were a little on the weaker side, particularly the guy who plays Shelley. Yes, Shelley, who is basically the director of this film. I feel he maybe overacts in certain scenes. And there are a couple of instances where I feel they've overdone the effects a little bit, especially in regards to the sound effects. So throughout this film we can hear this faint rumbling, which is a weird effect basically, and it's a little bit off-putting at the times. It's obviously meant to add to this this sense of dread that you have with this film, but I feel it's a little bit distracting at times, and I felt it would have been better suited had they not had that. And also there's a few audio effects in regards to some birds that are in this building, and also visual effects here that I feel definitely let the film down. It is a somewhat low budget film, and although some of the effects do work, I feel some of the effects, again, they just look a little bit too digital in some places. It's this like black mass cloud thing that's kind of like hanging around in places, and I don't really like the effect of that, if I'm completely honest with you. But it is a low budget film, and I have to say, when you are making low budget films, the best way to do it is to not show too much. And I feel there are a couple of occasions where that did happen, but for the most part, it's relatively restrained. For me, there's just quite a slow burn. But if you like a kind of found footage film that is definitely, going in the right direction in regards to kind of building up the kind of the tension and the kind of the growing sense of dread, and you have this kind of like somewhat of a twist at the end, which I thought was quite good, then this is going to be one for you. If you're wanting a little bit more of a visceral horror film, then you may want to kind of maybe skip this one. But it is a definite spooky film. There is definitely kind of creepy moments here. So it's well worth your time, I feel, if you are fans of things like Grave Encounters. I wouldn't say it's quite as good as those kind of movies, to be honest with you, but nevertheless, it's definitely a worthy addition to this kind of haunted found footage kind of genre that we have here. Definitely worth checking out if you are a fan of those films. If you have seen it, leave me a comment, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. And I will give this movie a 6 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.